like a mess. Can you all hear me? Just first, I was at the University of Montana today doing my second fall tabling store stop, and my phone started going off my pocket, and I was surrounded by these 200 students who were all screaming at me. And I told them so I looked at my pocket. I saw the news that my friend had just been shot. I didn't know if Charlie was alive. Right now, we believe he's still alive. But it may be changing very soon. These students. So I told these students, my friend Charlie Kirk has just been shot, right? Which is horrific. He's the father of 2 children. Beautiful wife who I've known longer than Charlie's known. We don't even agree on everything, Charlie and I. He's this amazing human. And then these kids, these 200 kids at the University of Montana, laughed. They cheered. Like, they were gleeful. Some clapped. Some put their hands up in the air. It was beyond the most horrific thing with Charlie being shot and being possibly dead. These kids laughed. Like, full on laughed. Like, didn't feel bad at all about what they were doing. And I called it out. I was like, what are you doing? My friend, I just told you my friend was shot. He was shot in the neck. And they laughed. They laughed. This one kid stood up and started saying, it's war. This is war. This is what happens in war. This is what happens in war. And I went to him and I was like, do you think you can shoot me right now? Do you think you're actually at war with me? So this one girl comes up and she's like pretending to be calm at the end. And she's like, well, you know, I can see how people can be joyful at the shooting of Charlie Kirk. I stopped and I prayed. I got the St. Michael prayer out. I was so upset. I had to like pull it up on my phone because I was like, I'm going to mess it up because my brain is going 1,000,000 miles an hour. I pull up the St. Michael prayer to ask for my own protection, to ask for protection for Charlie, for his family. And these kids fucking laughed. They laughed. I mean, we talk about how abortion is evil, right? And those who commit abortions and kill these babies are evil. But abortion culture is this. We laugh when people we don't like are shot. At one point I asked them, were you gleeful when Donald Trump was shot? And they were like, hell yeah. I mean, I don't know how we come back as a society if we start shooting one another. And if we think that's morally justified. There was actually a poll like this morning in my morning news briefing. There was a poll that came out at Gen Z just like this morning that said it was like almost 70% of college students feel that violence is justified if someone doesn't agree with you. This is not a war. We disagree. We're trying to save lives, and then you shoot somebody. My poor husband. I was waiting for him to find out, and I was just waiting for my phone to go off. I mean, I'm only weeping for Charlie. I'm weeping for like our whole country at this point. This entire generation who feel that they can laugh. They feel that they were okay to laugh. I mean, I had 2 video cameras on these kids. Charlie is shot. And they laugh. And they're being filmed. This is going to go on the internet. Yeah, I know some stuff that's going on behind the scenes. I know people are asking me, what do I know? I can't It's the situation's too fluid. If you can, stop what you're doing right now and pray for Charlie. Pray for Erica, his wife. Pray for his little girl and his little boy. Pray for Charlie. Then I want you to pray for our country. Pray for our nation. Pray for this generation. I don't know if it's the video games. Did they think that people are just going to like respawn? That it doesn't matter, that this is all a simulation, which happened the other day. A kid was trying to tell me that. I mean, I'm assuming this is probably the end of my speaking tour days for my husband's own sanity. I have 4 children. I want to end abortion. I want to change college students' minds about abortion. How do you do that if they're going to shoot you? And then they're going to laugh about it. How do we do this in an environment to keep ourselves safe? Pray for our Students for Life leaders who every week, every day, are going on campuses, offering support, changing people's mind.
Get him tonight.
I am beyond sick. I think I'm gonna throw up, actually. I'm gonna release the video later today of the kids laughing. I mean, I'm sitting in a freaking car outside of a hotel with an armed guard in front of the car with his hand in his bag on his gun, ready to shoot somebody who comes near me. Who am I? I'm just like a normal person from West Virginia who started speaking up against the violence of abortion. He's got a big mouth and it's kind of bossy. And yet I could be targeted to be shot because I have the audacity to talk to people about abortion. Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle, be our protection against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray, and do thou, heavenly hosts, by the power of God, cast in hell Satan and all those evil spirits who prowl around the world seeking the ruin of souls. Dear Lord, pray. Lord, pray. Lord, be with Charlie. Save him. Mother Mary, please comfort and pray for the comfort of Erica and those 2 babies. Please save Charlie. Amen. I'll check in with you all later. I've got a long drive home today. I've got security guards freaking out. I've got husband freaking out. So pray for Students for Life's leaders and our courageous kids. Pray for Charlie. Pray for our nation. I don't know how we come back. This is not okay. This is not okay. How do we put back a country where they cheer when somebody they don't like was shot? And now, we always talk in Students for Life. We always talk in Students for Life about being courageous and how being pro-life isn't easy and it's not for the faint of heart, and putting, your academic records sometimes on the line with professors and having to stand up and tell them you're wrong, or speaking up in class, or having to sue your administration for doing something illegal, not letting you have your group, or stopping you from, hosting an event. We always talk about how you as a pro-lifer need to be courageous. And I think now is the time we have to be really courageous, pro-life Jen. We're going to have to be really courageous. And we're going to have to pray that our guardian angels, pray that the Lord protects us in this work. Because there's real people out there who want to do evil. And there's sadly a lot of people out there, and I just saw it with these 200 kids at the University of Montana today, who cheer for evil. I mean, that one kid who told me that it was war and was cheering. We're not at war. We shouldn't be at war. We're not at war. We're Americans. We disagree. We're trying to save lives. If you think we're at war, if you think violence against someone you have a political disagreement or you disagree about a human rights situation with is war, and you think you're justified in trying to shoot my friend, trying to shoot me, we got a problem. We got a nation that needs to go back to God. A nation that doesn't know why. I mean, these kids today, when I was arguing with them for 2 hours before this, or, the footage was horrific. I mean, they were telling me, people don't matter. We have no value. If you really think that, and you really think that there's no meaning to any of this life, and there's no value, and there's no purpose, and we weren't created with any purpose, I'm never going to convince you that abortion's wrong. I'm never going to convince you that shooting my friend is wrong. Because there's no human decency left. What kind of society is that? This is a society I don't want to live in. When you think you can shoot my friend. And I have to be guarded with a freaking gun outside. Pray for Charlie. Pray for our students. Now's the time, guys. Pro-life Jen. That's it. This is it. I've been saying for years, we've been very blessed in the pro-life movement to see the end of Roe, to finally see Planned Parenthood defunded. But the battle's still raging. And now we're going to be moving into a new phase of the battle of how do we battle, how do we change hearts and minds, how do we support mamas, how do we end systemic inequities that lead to the oppression of abortion, how do we do all of this while also remaining safe ourselves. So stay tuned, guys. We'll have stuff out later, obviously. I'm going to release that horrific video from the University of Montana at some point, because evil only thrives in darkness. You need to bring it to the light, and I'm going to bring it to the light. Let's pray for Charlie again. Dear Lord, please protect Charlie, please. Please save him. Please be with Erica. Please be with his family and his precious babies. Please be with his doctors right now. They're doing all that they can to save Charlie's life. Do not let this be the end of his incredible story. Please be with all of us who are on campuses every day advocating for the end of the violence of abortion, advocating for truth. Please let us get a grip on this country where our fellow citizens will stop seeing other people as casualties of war if they shoot us. Please let us find a way to restore a true culture of life in our country. A culture that respects all life, even the babies in the womb and the adults you disagree or the adults you don't like to see on social media. That they're all equally valuable for the same exact reason. Because we were all created in your image. Thank you, Lord, for the life you've given us and the privilege you've given us to speak out and to